The story starts where I'm lost in my thoughts and I start to hear voices. Oh hero, please save this world, you're the hero. Help, please save me hero, save me. Voices playing around me, begging me for help, claiming that I am the hero. Millions of hands came rushing towards me as if they were making me a god. I was only a kid, and was overwhelmed with voices imploring my help. I could no longer hold my emotions, tears start to course through my cheeks. Mom, I called out. Everyone's claiming me as their hero. Why do I have to be their hero? I spoke with my head facing down the ground. However, my mother apathetically stood in front of me and said nothing. I don't want to do this anymore, it's too hard. I continued sobbing as my mother placed her hand on my shoulder. My son, she replied. You're the hope to this world, so stop whining and die like a hero. Suddenly I felt a strong push from my mother. I fell in shocked with my hands stretched forth trying to grab onto something and tears smeared across my face. All I remember was that there was countless of hands below me ready to make me their hero. Tick, a drop of water drib onto my cheeks. Back to reality. A glaring light shone over my face with raindrops drizzling all over me as I lay down on the ground. Awakened, Kim sung in. I slowly sat up. Still in a daze, I stood up picking up my sword. I thought I could get some rest here, I mumbled to myself. As I stood afar, I saw numerous creatures awaiting me from afar, some tall, some short. They all have their own distinct features, and probably they are hungry. Surely not giving me any time to rest. I sighed, and a hell lot of them are heading to the building I am standing on. Mana load, 97, mana level, 9, ayo. Look at the scale-like creature and the non-scaled one, don't they look like they from Aliens vs Predator? Alright, that's a reference to Hollywood. Back to story, I exhaled silently, and swoosh, I charged into the swamp of creatures. With a fling from my sword, title, hero, I slashed several of them. Well, some of them actually got beheaded and many of them were halved, quartered, three-quartered. I don't know, but my point is I killed them. And to add the final cherry onto the pie, I accidentally crushed one of them head with my foot. Okay, I just wanted to show off a little. I actually did a somersault in the air and strike, not the demons. If you actually know physics, striking a demon would cause less impact. The whole point is I struck the ground and killed many more. Huff, huff, huff. I panted heavily. Suddenly I felt like my legs failed me and I fell to ground on one knee and coughed blood. You truly are humans, hero, a loud voice thundered through the sky. God, probably not. A large purple hand pressed onto one of the abandoned buildings. A gigantic purple miniature towers over me. What enviable strength, he spoke in a blaring voice. I kneeled one knee down to the ground, trying to regain my strength for the final battle. I, Fafnir, he proclaimed as he charged towards me, have acknowledged you could be a part of me. I looked at him exhausted. After I bring you down I will make that strength mine, he continued. Boom! I fell to the ground injured. Ah! Fatigue, 98. Is this the end? I lay down on the ground as Fafnir looked down at me with no mercy in his eyes. A hero, what a joke, I thought to myself. Out of the blue, a blazing purple beam struck the earth, bringing in millions more of these creatures into the world. Not just those that tread on the ground but those that glide the skies too. And there was me, injured under the rain, exhausted and blood-stained all over me, devastated as I couldn't even protect a single person. A hero, I am not fit to be one, I thought to myself, preparing to look death in the eye as Fafnir raises his fist to end me in one last blow. I sat there ready to accept my fate as the fist came hurling towards me. I'm nothing, that was my final thought. As I thought I was dead, suddenly I heard noises around me. I tried to open my eyes. Blurrily I saw three persons standing in front of me. Hey, they call out. However, the sun was shining so strongly upon me that I began to slowly open my eyes. Hey, Kim Soo-hyun? You fainted suddenly, we actually thought you dead. They shouted excitedly. Out of shock, my eyes widened, I sat up immediately unsure of my surrounding. What the heck? Why you sitting up like a ghost? I didn't answer them but was perplexed at what happened. I looked at my hands then at the bright blue sky. I looked up, forward. Is this a dream? I mused. Fafnir was just... As I spoke up, they interrupted me calling me a sleep talker. If you're up now then it's time for a beating, the bully with the yellow demanded. Are you guys all... Once again he interrupted. Now cut the crap and grit your teeth. As I look up and saw his punch came flying towards me. Instinctively I hold his fist, reel it away from my face, and struck his face as hard as possible, which threw him away from me as he falls back down to the ground. The others were speechless on what they just saw. Ah damn! Sorry, my hand just... I tried to apologize. Are you crazy? It's Kim Soo-hyun, I will beat your ass. As they were still in a conflict, an alarming siren was heard nearby. Kwanjang-yuk, the police are here, one of them warned. Kim Soo-hyun, I want to see you in school tomorrow. I just sat there still confused about the situation. Kim Soo-hyun. But, I am Kim Sung-in, I murmured to myself. Slowly I stood up from where I was sitting as pain coursed through my body, but still trying to find an answer to what is happening. I stood up and noticed there was an old phone on the floor. Slowly I picked that phone up. Who were those guys? I thought. When I picked up that old phone, I got even more confused as I looked into the screen. Who is this? The world ended in 2042 after dungeons started to appear in different parts of the earth. Monsters started to permeate the earth, and those that aren't cleared were invading the present. This phenomenon was named the outbreak, and brutally destroyed the peace in the world. Havoc broke out. Few of the humans on the other hand adapted and gained inhuman capabilities to fight against the disaster. They are known as the Awakeners. I was one of them. I was the only one standing, even every human had died, and I continued the fight alone. I was the last survivor in the human race, and the strongest Awakener. So what was your name? The officer asked. I was still in a daze, contemplating on whatever just happened to me. Kim Soo-hyun, I replied stuttering. Your birth date? He asked again. Pardon. How old are you? Gosh, can't you focus for once? The officer impatiently demanded. However, I am unsure of how old was this body. I turned around and stared, and a calendar pinned to the wall, and it said 2022. But shouldn't it be 2042? I am in the past. Hoi, answer me. The officer demanded again. I'm 19, I replied. Since I am in the body of what seems like a student's body. And you don't know your address? Bastard. That doesn't make sense that you know nothing but your name and age, the officer continued. But my brain was still stuck at my death in 2042. Is this a dream or Fafnir's magic? I could only recall Fafnir throwing his purplish fiery fist towards me as I surrender my spirit. But at the same time, whatever I am feeling now does feel like reality. I really went back to the past, but what happened to original me? Is there a way to return to that body? I am not sure. Sigh, no point talking to you, your mother is coming to pick you up shortly. Just go. The officer finally gave up the interview. Despite me blanking out during the interview, the officer still warned me stay away from the construction sites, as that appears around the construction site. That, I thought to myself. Soo-hyun. Suddenly a voice of panic floats through the room. What happened and why are you in the police station? Why are looking like this? The woman anxiously asked and grabbed my face tightly. Soon she calmed down and with a look of devastation she asked, Son, are you all right? But to me she was just another stranger, though she was my mother. How could you forget your home address? I know we just moved her, but still. Are you stressed lately? She asked concerningly. I am still not quite used to the new address, so, I replied. Why are you so formal today? The lady asked. Is that so? I followed up as the atmosphere between us suddenly turned awkward. I think I should apologize for causing trouble, I thought. Here, cleaned yourself up? She pulled out a white handkerchief. And start cleaning my face. I heard those kids in school bullied you again. How could they be so senseless? The woman angrily declared. Tell me if they do that again. I won't let them off the next time, she continued. I looked at her speechless. But, don't you think it's pretty empty in the park today? Did something just happen? She changed the topic suddenly. It is pretty empty in the park though, I thought, when suddenly a footstep of what seems like a dog, with two long canines protruding from its mouth, was stalking us. Aren't you coming? She asked gently when I noticed something out of the blue. Footsteps of the creature came dashing to us closer and closer every second, and when I turned around the creature had already opened its mouth filled with razor-sharp teeth, ready to attack us. A wolf. That's what it seems like. Instinctively, I pushed my mother away from the attack and the wolf ripped a piece of cloth out of me. The wolf drifted a little distance from us as it positioned for another attack. This is not just any wolf, it's a werewolf. So that thing the police mentioned about was the outbreak? In the year 2022 was the time where the rate of outbreaks happening was constantly on the higher end, where monsters appear more often in the middle of the city. However, the problem I'm facing now is that it's not just one of them werewolves but two, and I do not have any weapons on me. I turned around and the closest thing to a weapon was an umbrella. Without a choice, I grabbed that umbrella as a weapon, pointing at them at a distance, warning my mother not to move. The second issue now I am facing is that I'm not in my original form where I was stronger. As the wolf charges towards me, I dodged its bite, and swung the umbrella as hard as possible, striking it in the abdomen, hence killing the werewolf. Before I have time to position another attack, another of the werewolf ambush from behind. The umbrella that once used as a weapon is now a shield. I push the umbrella into the mouth of the werewolf, preventing bites from that razor teeth. Despite my effort, the weight of the wolf was too much for this body, that I couldn't even inflict much damage on a low-grade monster. At the moment I wished I was at least an awakener. As I was struggling with the second werewolf, the third came charging at me. I turned my head, looking at it. Looking death in the face once again. Thuck! My mother with all her might, gather her courage, pushing the third werewolf away from me. This scene left me gobsmacked, but I was helpless as I was too fighting for my life.